Hi there, I'm Brooke Burns. I'm a Baywatch babe, an up-and-coming movie actress, and I make a ridiculous amount of money. Oh my God, did I just say that out loud? How shallow of me. What if I told you that I know a guy named Hal who happens to make those statements sound deep? And what if I told you that he's the title character in the new Farrelly Brothers movie? You know, the guys who did Something About Mary, Me, Myself, and Irene in Dumb and Dumber? Exactly. Coming up, we're going to take a sneak peek at some of the outrageous hijinks in Shallow Hal and find out how star Gwyneth Paltrow packed on over 200 pounds for her new movie role. And we're going to talk to people about, thinking shallow.
Cut!
So how'd I do? Do I look good? Do I look okay? I mean, can you tell I got my teeth capped?
He hypnotized you so that really ugly girls that you met from then on would, to you, look like supermodels.
You're saying that all the pretty girls I've met lately aren't really pretty. There she is. There's Rosemary.
Hi.
I fell in love with Rosemary.
What in the...
You want to see a splash? I'm going to show you a splash. Ready?
Hey, Billy, stay over near the ladder. Billy?
Daddy! Daddy!
Okay, I am not really that shallow. I was just trying to illustrate a point. You see, we're here on 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, California, just down the road from Hollywood, perhaps the shallowest place on earth. We're talking today to ordinary people. How patronizing does that sound, ordinary people? Anyway, we're trying to find out if somebody knows someone like Hal, someone whose sole criteria for dating is just looks. So, follow me. How do you define the word shallow?
Not deep.
I guess someone who would put your physical appearances and also monetary assessment before anything else.
Some of my friends.
Okay.
Always being in the right place to be, wearing the right outfit, talking to the right people.
When you first see a guy, you date him because you think he's attractive. But if you stay with him even though he's annoying or you don't like him, then that's shallow.
Oh, I want a blonde. I want a girl this height with these color eyes.
Has the cookie cutter image.
Yeah, bastard.
What's the first thing that comes to mind when you hear the word shallow?
Somebody who wants someone for their money.
For their money?
Yeah, money's the first. If money's the first issue, then that's shallow.
Hal, I'm not attracted to you.
So what? What, you think everyone who goes out is attracted to each other? Get real.
Well, I think they're at least attracted to each other in the beginning.
Oh, come on. That sounds like a bunch of new age hooey.
Well, Hal is a very superficial guy.
What? That's it? Just like that? We're breaking up.
Well, we were never going out.
He doesn't really care about their personality or what's inside their hearts.
There are a few times in a guy's life when he comes to a crossroads. If he goes one way, he can continue what he's doing and be with any girl who will have him. And if he goes the other way, he gets to be with only one woman. Are you wearing panties?
He starts out as very kind of shallow.
When are you going to get it?
What are you talking about?
It never occurred to you that picking girls solely on their looks may not be the best way to go about it?
And looking for the wrong things in women.
The movie opens with 9-year-old Hal saying goodbye to his father, who's dying of cancer. Father's a reverend, but he tells him all the wrong advice about life because he's pumped up on morphine.
Hot young tales, what it's all about. Find yourself a classic beauty with great time.
We cut to 25 years later, and now he is Shallow Hal.
He only goes after gorgeous women, only beautiful women, only perfect 10s, in fact.
So he gets stuck in an elevator with Anthony Robbins, the self-help guru.
They get to talking, and Tony kind of likes him, and then he does him a favor.
Devils, come out!
What the hell are you doing, banana hands?
And hypnotizes him to see only the inner beauty in people.
Immediately starts seeing a lot more pretty people, but it's because he's seeing the inner beauty, he doesn't know it.
What does he see that I'm not seeing?
I saw a knockout. I don't care what anybody else saw.
So he falls for this girl that everyone else basically sees as a, what would be considered an unattractive girl, but she's a beautiful person, so he sees Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, there she is. There's Rosemary.
Where?
Right there.
Is she behind the rhino?
She's just so thankful that she's met someone who can look past her weight and just love her for who she is, because he doesn't see her as weighing 350 pounds, which she does.
Every time Jack sees somebody with inner beauty, he sees what in his mind would be a beautiful woman, and that's sort of the American norm of what is beautiful on the outside. But his friend Mauricio, who's with him a lot, sees the real person. So when Jack sees Gwyneth, he sees Gwyneth Paltrow. Mauricio, on the other hand, would see a 330-pound woman.
Holy cow! I'm Hal's best friend, Mauricio. He certainly has a look. He's a dresser. Stylish guy.
Is that a members-only jacket?
Yes, it is.
So what are you, like the last member?
As Hal begins to see the inner beauty in people, Mauricio sees all that Hal does not.
What are you doing? I am rescuing you. From what?
From what?
As an actress in Hollywood, I'm always hoping to be judged on my talents and not on my looks. I'm also hoping for world peace, an end to hunger, and of course, quality designer shoes at a reasonable price. What can I say? Shallowness is a part of our society. Have you ever ended a relationship for shallow reasons?
There was the new girl in high school, and she was a little prettier than my current girlfriend, so... I was dating a set of twins, one twin, and I broke up with one twin and I started dating the other.
Yeah, I've ended relationships because the girls I was with were not on the same level as me. I guess I don't want to sound egotistical, but I think they were more...
Have you ever ended a relationship for a shallow reason?
Yeah, I have, actually, just because a girl wouldn't give me some play.
Maybe I was just into the sex too much.
Into the sex too much?
Yeah, where it was like...
I'm not that shallow, but good looks helps.
Do you consider yourself shallow?
No. I hope I'm not. Especially I hope I'm not.
But you're just checking your hair in the camera?
Yeah. No, did you see that?
When Hal sees Rosemary, he doesn't see a 330-pound woman. He sees Gwyneth Paltrow. But what you don't know is that when Hal sees me...
You must be a model, right?
Well, here's what he should see. It's me, Katrina! We shared the cab together.
Tony Gardner, he's sort of the genius behind all this makeup for Gwyneth. We went through a lot of different sort of processes, and looked at a lot of different pictures before we sort of narrowed in on the right sort of size.
What we had asked was that she appeared to be around 300 pounds, and you recognize Gwyneth. It's Gwyneth with 300 pounds.
Hello. They take these long brushes and are putting this crazy glue down inside your face and then sticking it. It takes about an hour, 45 minutes to stick it on properly. Then it's another hour and a half to paint it. It takes about 3 hours, and then you just zip into the big foam body part of the suit. And the first time I put it on, I kept knocking things over, like you have no perception of where you end, because it's just so big.
The first makeup test we needed to do, she wasn't available to come to our shop, so they flew us out to New York, and we did it in a hotel room.
I put on the full suit. I'm so into it.
Are you?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's terrifying, but it's awesome. And I was in a hotel, and I actually went downstairs, walked through the lobby. We're gonna get crazy now.
And it was like Gwyneth sort of didn't exist. It was really, really interesting.
I went to the bar. No one would make eye contact with me. No one would look in my direction.
You went out at the bar. The bartender pretty much ignored Gwyneth.
And, I asked some people questions, and people were sort of dismissive.
And she saw some little dogs, and she bent down and pet the dogs and walked around for a while.
It was a very, very sad and startling experience. This is so heartbreaking. I can't stand it.
Her whole life, I'm sure, it's been, there's Gwyneth Paltrow. And she was actually able to sort of blend in.
That was a very interesting experience. I think people think that it's the polite thing to do not to look if somebody's really, really overweight. And actually, it's incredibly isolating and sort of lonely and weird. I mean, it was really a profound experience, and I felt so alone. It was like nobody was connecting with me. Nobody would look in my direction. Nobody would make eye contact or smile.
What's the shallowest behavior that you've ever either seen or been subject to in a relationship?
Probably something that I've said to a girl where I've told her I don't like her clothes or something.
I didn't go to junior high dance with someone because they didn't get me the right flower.
I knew a girl who broke up with a guy because of his car.
Or we'll be driving and there'll be like this hottest guy in this crappy car and she'll be like, oh, but look at his car. Well, yeah.
Have you ever been in a relationship where you've been treated shallowly or you have felt like you've been subject to shallow behavior?
Definitely.
Give me that story.
This first 6 years of my relationship with my current boyfriend,
All he would talk about is himself and his cars and how much his status in life.
The Fairley brothers know a thing or two about shallow. After all, these are the guys who gave a dead bird to a blind kid, put a prosthetic hand on a championship bowler, and, of course, zipped up Ben Stiller's Frankenbeans.
These are guys that made ejaculate into hair cream, and, you know, most people would say that's over the line, and yet it was funny.
Hey, hello.
Hi. Good, how are you?
Good.
What is that? Is that hair gel?
Yeah.
Great. I could use some. You don't have to. I just ran out.
I think Pete and Bob are really aware of where that fine line is before you go off into cartoon land or that other line where you're going to offend people. With the dog from Something About Mary, it was, let's make this dog match the real dog, but let's stylize it a bit. Make the eyes a little wider, and let's put an armature in it. We can lock into weird poses when we go launch it in the air.
Are you the little guy making all that big noise?
My mother's very worried about what I have to do in the movie. The question she asked me the other day was how off-color, or what's the most off-color thing I have to do. It's been great, you know, it's just been really fun for me to get to do a film like this.
You should really be done.
I think Jack Black is hilarious. I mean, he has me in stitches all the time.
I'm bionic. Okay, just pour it out. Hey, don't worry. Alrighty.
And Jason Alexander is silly and so funny.
I was brilliant. I can't speak about the rest of this.
Peter and Bobby are so familial, and they have all their friends around. I just thought it would be so much fun to work with them and to do something that was sort of different and kind of outside myself and outside what people sort of expect from me. I just thought they would be great guys to do that with because they're so irreverent and they really go for it, you know, so it wouldn't be like a half-assed attempt at, you know, doing something funny and different.
Hey, Unibrow, why don't you double your dosage and leave me alone?
We want to hit the heart this time, not just funny bone.
Well, this has all been very informative, and it seems that all the people we talked to are not nearly as shallow as I thought they'd be. Of course, how shallow of me to simply draw that conclusion. Although, I was a bit surprised at what people actually wear in the streets. It means they actually left the house that way. And I know you guys can't see this, but the guy who's operating the camera, he's wearing sandals. As in, open-toed shoes. Gross. Oh, are you going with that thing? Don't be so sensitive, it's all right. It's not my fault that it's all about me.